So lately we've been building batteries with Kelb lithium iron phosphate prismatic cells. These are very easy to use for beginners, very safe, very well known, and they've been around for a very long time. They have large, easy to work with terminals, and I really like them. But the price keeps going up as I keep making videos on them. When I first bought this pack right here, it only cost $380. Now they're over $480, and I cannot find a place that's selling them for the original price that it was for years and years because people keep buying them. And they've increased so much in price that they're the same price as aluminum cased lithium iron phosphate prismatic cells. And these are brand new cells off of AliExpress that have the manufacturer's warranty barcode, and these cells are matched for capacity and internal resistance. So instead of using the Kelb cells that I like, because these are so expensive, we're going to push these aside today and build a pack with these. And I was thinking about it, and look how small these are compared to Kelb cells. The form factor and the weight is way better on these. So I'm thinking that if we slap it in this battery box, we'll have a lot more room to work with. And there's so much room that we could put these sideways and put a BMS on top and then have the terminals above that. So this would be very easy to build, and I wish I thought of this sooner, but man, the price just increased again this week for the Kelb cells. So we're gonna slap a battery together with these. But the first thing that you guys need to know about these cells specifically is they have very small machine screws on the terminals. And if you do not have enough threads to grab it, you can strip out the terminal, and somebody on our forum already did that, and he had to helicoil it. So be very careful and do not over tighten these. So the first step, as always, is put your battery cells in a series configuration. Then you'll have a main positive and a main negative. This is first cell, second cell, third cell, fourth cell. And then add your balance cable. And after you add the balance cable, we're going to add the BMS. And the BMS has a B negative and a C negative. Put the B negative on the main negative terminal of the battery. Now you're going to want to think about the clearance that you wish to have between the battery and the BMS. I want it lifted off the cells, but not by much. So this is a perfect amount, and now we need to organize this balance cable. And typically I like to add a knot so that it's organized. Now we're going to add a positive cable to the main terminal of the battery. And this will connect to the terminals on the very top of the battery. So we need to actually cover this because while we're working in here, you could easily short this. So let's cover this with electrical tape real quick until it looks like that. And to ensure that these cells do not move around in the box, we're going to add double-sided mounting tape. And now we can put the battery cells inside of our box. And I just found a piece of foam that will fit on the side just perfectly. And now the cells cannot move. This is perfect. So now we want to lift up the BMS and mount it. Guys, I just found a plastic box that fits perfectly. So we're going to use double-sided tape and mount it. So double-sided tape on this side, then just slap it on top of the cells. Now that the BMS is connected, we can add the Bluetooth and the temperature sensor. So all you have to do is plug it into the BMS and tape it down. And to connect the tiny temperature sensor to the cells, we're going to use Kapton tape. And I'm going to mount the Bluetooth module on this plastic box with double-sided tape. And for the Bluetooth antenna, to ensure that it's safe from the other electrical equipment, just shove it between the foam and the plastic case. And then use some more Kapton tape so that it is secure. Now all we need to do is connect the top. That was such an easy battery build, my goodness. First, remove the electrical tape. And just tighten these things down. And now our battery is built and we just need to plug in the balance cable. And I would trim the excess of this cable, but it is over gauge and I'm running out of terminal connectors, so we're just gonna leave it as is. But this battery is complete. Now I can put the cover on. Guys, that took me like 15 minutes to make a full battery. This method of assembling took less time than the last battery, and this is lighter, this is easier to build. Wow, look at that. I wish I did it this way the first time, but I guess you have to learn. The only thing I want to improve is this battery case. If you guys have any suggestions on what we should use instead, please let me know. And this battery weighs 21.8 pounds or 9.9 kilograms for a 100 amp hour battery. Actually, these are 105 amp hour cells. What am I saying? And it has Bluetooth connection, low temperature disconnect, has a shunt so you can check the capacity. This is a full feature battery for the same price as a Kelb battery. So yeah, this is really nice. I wish I knew how to build it like this the first time, because this is way better than the first one that we just built a couple days ago. And most of this was like just advanced arts and crafts. It was just double-sided tape, more tape, some piece of foam, and that's it. I guess we're just gonna be using these cells until they rise in price, just like the other cells. But yeah, I hope you guys like this video, and let me know what you guys think below. And we also have other videos coming shortly. I have this 500 amp relay continuous, and we're gonna connect it to a cheap BMS so that we can run pretty much any inverter on the market with a cheap Chinese BMS, and we don't have to worry about the MOSFETs failing or anything else. So that will be really fun. So yeah, I will talk to you guys later, and thank you so much for watching. Bye.